Hey, I'm Stephanie. I'm an actress, and I left the Moulin Rouge first national tour, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm making this video mostly because I always wondered why people left incredible jobs like Moulin Rouge or Wicked or Hadestown or Broadway. I bet people have that same question for me, so I wanted to come on here and explain the reasons why I decided to leave the tour. By the way, if you're new here, which is all of us, including me, because this is my first full-length YouTube video, welcome to my channel. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'm Stephanie. I'm a law school dropout turned musical theater performer. You may have seen me on TikTok or Instagram, but I wanted to come on YouTube and kind of talk long-winded about some things, including why I left Moulin Rouge. Also, disclaimer, I just like 30 minutes ago burned my hand on my curling iron, so if you see this, don't be alarmed, I'm fine. Before I get into why I left Moulin Rouge, I just want to say, Moulin Rouge truly was my dream show. I never thought I would be good enough to be in that show, and so booking it changed my life. It changed the way I view myself. It changed my perspective of everything, really. The performers I worked with were incredible, and I've taken away like lifelong friends from that company. The dancing, the choreography, I loved every minute I was on stage, and it still means a lot to me. The show pushed me as a dancer, as an artist. Touring pushed me as a human being. It was an amazing experience. Let me go back and talk about when I did book Moulin Rouge. About 5 or 6 months before I booked Moulin Rouge, I had just come off of tour with Tootsie, the musical. So I was out there for 6 months. I had a really great experience. It was fun. It was only 6 months because I was a replacement. So February 2023, I go into an ECC. It's called an equity chorus call. Basically an open call for usually dancers. I found out from a friend who was on the tour that they were looking for someone small, good dancer, likes to partner. So I went in, and like a week later, I had booked it, and I was so excited and so happy. We rehearsed in New York for 2 weeks, and then we went to Houston and opened in Dallas. And my family lives in Austin, Texas, so it was like all the stars aligned that my whole family could come and see me. In my first like really big gig, my first union gig, those first few weeks were rough. Like just getting my stamina built up for the can and Bad Row. It's just a hard show, and like getting back into the swing of literally touring and traveling city to city. But once I did get my stamina built up and I felt like comfortable in the show and I could really like play artistically with the material, I remember thinking, God, I'll never leave this show. This is like some of my favorite movement I've ever done, but eventually, you know, time takes its toll. And not because I don't still love the material or the people or the show, but for other reasons. Touring itself is just hard. It's just hard. I knew I was signing up to tour when I joined Moulin Rouge, and it was great, and it was really exciting, especially in the beginning, just going to all these really cool cities and towns that I would have not really gone to if it hadn't been for Moulin Rouge. New Orleans was so fun. Omaha, Nebraska was really cute. Washington, D.C. We went to so many cool places, and I did really enjoy getting to visit all those places. In between visiting those places is traveling to those places, and that requires us to pack up our whole life into like 2 suitcases and get on a plane,
unpack our life, buy new groceries, meal prep, prepare for another 2 weeks of shows.
Bus, club, another club, plane, next place.
And then by the time the 2 weeks of shows ends, you're packing because you're flying out at 5 a.m. the next day, is what I signed up for, but it does take its toll after a year and a half, 2 years. So I really was considering, you know, the toll of constant traveling and how it was affecting my mental health and my sanity and my happiness, not as a performer, but as Stephanie who exists outside of the stage. The next reason I decided to leave tour was because I missed my loved ones. Aww. Obviously, when you're on tour, you're not home. And home for me is Austin, Texas. And I'm in New York right now. I spend a lot of my time here in New York City as a performer, auditioning and training and working occasionally, but my home is in Austin, Texas. That's where my parents live, where my boyfriend lives, my cousins, my aunts, my nieces, my nephews, and my family is so supportive. My mom and my boyfriend came out to visit a lot. As often as they could, but it's not feasible for a normal person to fly out to a random city every week, right? But I missed them. I missed having them around, and I missed seeing them. I missed weddings, births, birthdays, holidays, and I accepted that. That would be something that would happen when I joined the tour, but it's still sad to miss out on those things because you want to be there for every single important event. And for that year and a half, I was in a long distance relationship with my wonderful boyfriend, Tony. We had FaceTime dates and he came to visit and I took a vacation and we got to do amazing things, but it's still hard to be in a long distance relationship, as I'm sure a lot of you know. All the Zoom dates and texting in the world don't replace just being there with your loved one. In this career, I've made a lot of sacrifices. From the time I was young in dance training until now, I've sacrificed parties and events and vacations and holidays to pursue what I love. And it's all been worth it. And it was something I was okay with because this career and my passion is really important to me. But as I have spent more time in this industry and very luckily found more success, mostly because of those sacrifices I made. Now, lucky, I can be a little bit more selective with the things I do and the choices I make, and also shift the spotlight away from just my career and also into my life. My happiness outside of being on stage when the camera is off and the stage lights are down. I was at a crossroads of how do I make balance here? And being on tour, even with this amazing show that I love, still meant that I would miss out on a lot of important things. Another reason I decided to leave Moulin Rouge is because this show is fucking hard. It is so hard. It's as hard as it looks. The dancing is incredible and the choreography is amazing and it feels so good to do because you get to use like everything you have. You get to put it all out on the floor. And doesn't happen in a lot of shows. The hardest thing, I swear, still, was can-can. Because it's the very first thing that we do, like top of the show. And it's the most high energy thing that we do. Running, immediately kicking our face, immediate slam. There was like maybe 10 times out of the like 515 shows that I did where I could actually like dissociate during the can-can and like leave my body and like float above. But other than that, I was very, very present and very aware of what I was doing. Actually, something interesting about the tour specifically, the tracking for the tour is unlike the tracking for any other production of Moulin Rouge worldwide. It's different than Broadway, it's different than Germany. They're all different, which is really cool. In the studio, when they were creating the tour version, the creative team and the original cast all kind of worked together to make that work. And Adrienne, who was Heel 2 before I joined the tour, she created this really freaking cool track. She was doing a lot of lifts. She had a lot of really cool little features that were really exciting. I did a lot of dancing and it was so fun, and I feel so lucky to have had that track for as long as I did. I love the challenge, right? And I don't do this because I want to do something easy, you know, and I feel very proud of what I did. But just over time, your body breaks down, you know, my knees. Made a very concerted effort to preserve my body, cross-train, go to the gym, eat healthy, rest properly. And so a lot of my day before the show was just dedicated to resting and preparing for the show. I would love to do this show again, but I'm just human. And after a year and a half and doing this amazing choreography, I was ready to just rest and have a little break. What else? The really last reason I left the show was because I was ready to pursue new projects. You know, I didn't have anything booked. I didn't have another gig coming up. And on tour, it's not impossible, but it's hard to audition for other things. Some shows or theaters take self-tapes, but now that the you-know-what is over, most people want to see you in person, which makes sense. And I did occasionally fly into New York from Middle America, and I was spending $800 to get there and back. Show up exhausted, jet-lagged, dance, sing, go back, and be exhausted and jet-lagged for the show. And that's hard and not very sustainable. And Moulin Rouge is, like I said in the beginning, my dream show. And there are other things I want to do. I want to be on Broadway, whether it's in Moulin Rouge or in another show. I want to be a part of an original Broadway cast. I want to be in a principal role. I want to create new works. I want to do shows that have never been done before. After a year and a half of doing my dream show in my dream track with like some of the best people you could possibly work with, I had to really sit down with myself and think, is this all I want? Is this the only thing I want?
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Or do I want to push myself even farther? Do I want to try and achieve all those crazy things that I never thought I could achieve? Because I never thought I could achieve Moulin Rouge. And if I did, does that mean maybe I can achieve all these other dreams that I have? And I feel like the answer is yes. Ultimately, in order to achieve those other dreams and explore those other opportunities, I had to let go of what was comfortable and what was mine, which was my job, and take the leap. It's scary, it's not comfortable, but nothing about this career has been comfortable. But that's the joy, is it's pushed me to better myself. It's also pushed me to know what I don't want to be and to avoid things that do not bring me joy and that do not make me happy or make me better. So it was a tough choice to say goodbye to Moulin Rouge, but I'm hoping one day I'll watch this video and realize, oh, the reason I achieved blah, 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 blah is because of that really hard, awful decision that I had to make to leave behind something I loved in pursuit of something else. So that's why I left Moulin Rouge. Before I let you go, I want to talk a little bit about what I learned from Moulin Rouge and from this tour, because I did learn a lot, and I think that is ultimately what I will take away with me when I'm old, right? I think one of the most important things I learned was having grace for people. On the road, you're with the same group of people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you're traveling, when you're on stage, you're in a new city every week or 2 weeks, so you're not making outside friends, really. It's you and your team. You see people in their best and you see them in their worst, honestly, and that goes for me too. It really allowed me to understand that we're all unique individuals, but like deep down we're all the same. We want to be loved and feel happy and comfortable and secure, and we're thrust out onto the road into towns we've never been to, away from our families and our loved ones. We're all doing something kind of crazy, right? Living out of hotels, being a traveling circus, essentially. It made us all closer too. Being adaptable, I think I was adaptable, and I think you have to be adaptable to be in this industry, but touring, especially with Moulin Rouge, really exercised that muscle for me. We had so many swings. The more swings, the merrier. I got to dance with all of them in all different capacities, in all different cities, in all different environments, and it was really cool and fun to work that muscle of not just falling into what's comfortable, but always being like on top of it and ready to adapt and change to any changes. That was definitely a big one with Rouge. And I think finally it kind of taught me the importance of letting go, because like I said in the beginning, I love Moulin Rouge. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I loved Moulin Rouge. I never thought I would be good enough to be in that show. And I'm still pinching myself that I did it for a year and a half. I couldn't understand how anybody could ever leave such an amazing job, something that we love so much. And I still love that show, and I miss it. I miss dancing that stuff every day. And I got to meet really amazing people, learn to be a better dancer, a better teammate, a better performer, a better person, a more adaptable person. And I also kind of learned when it was time to put myself first. In the spirit of being adaptable and making sacrifices, I realized that I would have to sacrifice this thing that I love, which is being a part of Moulin Rouge, in the hopes, in the dream that I will get to do other really amazing projects. And maybe it'll never happen, but I'll be damned if I didn't try. Well, that is it. That's why I left Moulin Rouge. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it, leave a comment if you have any questions. If there's anything that you are interested in seeing, let me know in the comments down below. I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.